Hello and welcome to Dario's Comic School, and I wanted to make this video for a long time, but I didn't know if it would fit here, and I think I didn't do it back in the days, but it fits into my chronology and history of the artist of who I am, and that is why I wanted to share this with you. It is not just a product video, it is. No, it's not. Because it's a story of trying to escape the 9 to 5. As you can see here, these are the 4 versions of the game. And I will show you how I made this game. And hopefully this video is titled That One Time I Should Have Worked But Made a Game Instead. So that's the hook. YouTube said you have to have a hook and then story tell. And also you need expressive hands. No, YouTube didn't tell me that. That's just because I'm Italian living in Germany. But bear with me, don't click away. This will be a great story. It will be a great story with ups and downs. So it was the year 2013. Roughly around this time that 2013 that I stopped, or how do you say, I finished movie school, then I went on to work for the movies, then I started to late 2013 I thought to myself, man, I need to do comics. I need to follow into the footsteps of Mike Mignola and Frank Miller. And yeah, I tried. I worked 1 year, 2014, in solitude and kind of brokenness. And at the end of it, I went back to movies and worked for the animated movies for a short while. A couple of months, but it burned me out, and the money wasn't that great. Great colleagues, but too much work, too little fun, living in a different city, paying expensive rent, so it wasn't for me. And I came back, and in the summer of 2015, I worked then for myself. I went on a trip, on a road trip through Scotland, and I made the mistake that I spent tons of money for tons of bullshit. A bunch of castles I didn't care, food that made even a skinny guy like me fat, and then I came back and yeah, with the money I had left, I started drawing for the buff dudes, but. And this is where this comes, where this game comes into. Like, you can see the cards. I didn't show you the cards yet. So if you want to buy the product, or you don't want to wait the whole video, then let me show you the cards and let me tell you the story of the cards. So this is the werewolf you know, only cooler. And I don't know, a couple of years prior to that, I was very much into online gaming, League of Legends, but I had always played Magic the Gathering in my life. As you can see, let me grab a mountain here. I was always a mountain player. As you can see, I was very much into tabletop, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering. Was a big part of my life, and that is all very important for your artistic endeavors, because that of course shapes you. And you know, my life is dedicated to comics, so why are we talking now about a game? Well, because it's awesome illustration. So let's talk about first the game, the werewolf game. So I was pretty much always into gaming, online gaming, but also single player gaming like Jack the Lions, StarCraft 1, Half-Life 1, like all of these solo players. They were made for the people, like the service you got. It was a great experience, and they shipped it only if content was king. As I do with these videos. A little bit of irony, but just a little bit. So And a friend of mine, this guy, let me show you, because on these cards are all my friends and all my inspiration. So I didn't make it faceless. As you can see, my artistic heart and blood and passion, I infuse everything I do with pure love. So where is he? We're searching for Basti. So this is the twin. And where's Normie? He and these two are brothers. They are twins. And they are good friends of mine. And the thing is this, like, I don't know which one, but I think he invited me. He always hosted some werewolf events, and I didn't know what the game really was. And I went there, and a bunch of friends and couples met up there, and we started to play the game. And at that time, the game we had was from Asmodee. It's, I guess, a French publisher, and there are square cards, and on those cards there are symbols, like a werewolf symbol and a villager symbol, and symbols are fine, but they're not concrete. And so whenever I got the villager symbol, I was kind of disappointed, because like everybody gets to play a special role and I get only to play a boring symbol. And it kind of like, I kind of got passive, like, what's the point? Everybody's playing some special stuff, like that guy is a thief and the other guy is a werewolf, and I'm just a normal villager. So what's the point? I have nothing to say here. And but playing was really fun. Like I remember one time when I think I was a werewolf, and Amor, or the lovers, I think Amor it's called, made me and where's Normie again? Made me and Normie a couple. And so he was with the villagers and I was with the werewolves, and we kinda got almost to the end, and then we died. And it was really cool, like the experience. Like I love stories. I love movies, comics, stories. Stories are my passion. I think this is why I dedicated myself to this game. And I realized, man, I could do comics out of this. It's so interesting how many stories and experiences you can have, and how beautiful it is that people come together in flesh and blood and play a game where they have to look each other's in the eyes and talk. And it created such a thick atmosphere. So this is why I loved this werewolf game so much. And the community aspect of it, to coming together in the evenings and playing together a game in a group, not just sitting in front of a laptop or PC screen doing your thing. It was a community act with women, men, girls, boys. You know what I mean? It was a game we could all play together. So this is chapter 1. And then a friend of mine, Sebe, let me show you. Where's Sebe? He's here. This is like my blueprint or my first draft. This guy is Sebe, and I will show you Sebe in a second here. And this guy had his birthday somewhere in May, and he said, man, it would be cool if you could bring that werewolf game. But Basti wasn't in town, and I wanted to go buy a copy of it, but somehow it was sold out. And so I thought to myself, man, I bring something to Basti's birthday that might be cool, like a present, but what if I sit down and make some cards? And so I think in one day I sat down, and as you can see, this is cardboard, and I sat myself down and glued a bit of paper on the cardboard and started with some pencils on it, I think, like penciling with a pencil like this with blue lead or something. And yeah, I sleeved those up because if you would touch them, yeah, it's just, as you can see still the marker on it. So I sleeved them up as an old Magic the Gathering casual and tournament player. On this point, I want to say, if you want to know more about my love with cards, I have check out the link down below. I'm creating a trading card game that is called End Times TCG. If you like 90s pop culture and movies, go check it out, End Times TCG. And if you want to know more about Noir Werewolf, go and check out the Noir Werewolf channel. It's also in the link down in the description. But let's stick with this story. So I sat my ass down and I drew, I think, a werewolf or a bunch of werewolves. As you can see, I had tons of fun. Doesn't look the best, but I was just putting illustrations on the paper, and then I made a male villager. I was inspired by the Innistrad blog of Magic the Gathering, of movies like Sleepy Hollow, the great French movie. Here in Germany, it's called Pacte der Wölfe or Pacte de Loup. I don't know what it is, but it's like Pact of the Wolves or something like that. It's with Vincent Cassel, and it's really great. I will link it also down below. Like, I was inspired by all those movies and Tim Burton and all of that stuff, and I think it really shows. And you can see I do have a love for story and illustration, and I had seen someone, I think Corey Fields, and he had made some beautiful illustrations that looked like Pixar or Disney. But I wanted this was from the movie, I don't know what it's called. It's Pact of the Loops or Pact of the Wolves or something like this. And they have this like 14th, 15th, 16th century, you know what I mean, these French hats, and it's raining, and this guy is the huntsman. But in my head, I wanted to say, like, is this guy the huntsman, or is he maybe the hunted? And of course, the full moon. I will show you in a second then the full illustrations, or check down below the timestamps. And then a woman with a scar. And I was filling this town with some villagers. I don't know why. I was creating a bunch of werewolves, a bunch of villagers. So each time you got your card, you knew that you are that person. You cannot die. You must fight till the end. You must fight. It is your duty because it is your life. You're not just a regular Joe, you're not a regular mountain, you are this person. And this person, like in the 90s movies, will go to the bitter freaking end to kill the monster. And the monster will do the same. So welcome to Terminator and stuff like that. And I don't know, I think this was a statue of an angel, and I looked it up and I gave it bow and arrow, so it could be armor or the lovers, and something that is a statue. And I was kind of creating this Sleepy Hollow town and the girl that could peek in the night. And as you can see, I didn't write down much. Like, this is a villager. This is Ogden from Diablo 1. This is the Diablo 1 church and a nun. And I was really very much doing some Mike Mignola-like lighting. This is Adria the Witch from Diablo. And we will see the illustrations. I will Sebe. This is from the guy in the fog. Some great painting, and the Seer. I wanted her to be scarred by the werewolves, and then she comes back to take revenge. Maybe she lost her eyesight, but there she is. She has this amulet, and again, the illustrations will be much more beautiful. But yeah, a guy with a beard, another werewolf, and Adile. I didn't know at the time that all of these people would become like this one is a townsfolk that has maybe a bit better protection. But as you can see here, the girl, I remade her. And this is the blacksmith from Diablo 1 and another werewolf. And the mayor's, how do you say, like when you get voted to be the mayor, this is the card you get, and then you get it, and it's bloodstained because always the previous mayor, of course, died because the werewolves got him. Here is the first huntsman, and just beautifully, and here a beautiful townslady. And so I went there, I brought this game, and everybody was going nuts. We played a few rounds, and they said, man, you gotta kickstart this. This is awesome. I said, man, yeah, I don't know if I have to kickstart this because this game already exists. And they said, yes, it exists, but not your version. And so in October, this is December 2015, in October of 2015, I kinda had run out of money, and I couldn't pay. How do you say? I couldn't pay my insurance. And a friend of mine, again, Sebe, said, "Man, you gotta go for unemployment." And Sebe said, "You gotta go for unemployment and go get the money, and then start your freelancing business." So I went to, I don't know, how do you say it in Germany? We say Bundesagentur für Arbeit, and they hook you up. And I said, man, I would love to start my freelance career. And they said, that's great. You don't need unemployment money. We can fund you up to 2 years, and we give you this money, and it's for funding your startup, and it's a great thing. You have to give us some, I don't know, you have to do some paperwork and show us how you want to do it. And then I did all that, and they gave me the money, and they were pretty happy because like they saw I had talent. I had already worked for movies and all of that. So I started working, and the idea was I start in October or November my freelancing career, and somebody commissions me with a job, and I work that job. No matter what it is, I work it. But I didn't want to. The first crazy idea that came to my mind was, oh man, I really, 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 really don't want to work some job. Let's create a job. And so I sat my ass down, and I had a plan to create a card game in a metal box with English rules and my card in it. And because I checked out at the time how much would it cost, and which card could I use, and I wanted to go for the poker card size, but I chose this card size so I could put bigger pictures on it. Like that was the idea somehow. And so I created a Kickstarter for 43 cards, because this is where it came from. As you can see here, Mein Spiel, echte Spiele selber machen. This is where I got him. As you can see, it's all here. And the idea was to make 33 cards, a rule set. Like the rules for Werewolf are pretty much the same. So the idea was make 4 werewolves, a bunch of, let's say, 8 male villagers, 8 female villagers, and then I had 9 spare cards in which I put in the tough guy, which I later changed the name because tough guy was a bit too, it was generic. And then Bam Bamson, as you can see, this is a friend of mine in the pose of the guy from Evil Dead. And the idea was, because Bam Bamson, Kai is his name, a good friend of mine, he was always killed first when he was playing, because he was a good player, so people always wanted to see him die. And I created a card for him, and it's the Bam Bamson. And in the day phase, whenever you want to lynch this guy, he pulls out his boomstick and he says, no, 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 I have this boomstick, you cannot kill me. So he can't get lynched one time by day, and if he dies, he can opt to shoot his shotgun. So he's kind of like the huntsman, only a bit stronger. And he, as you can see in the rules, I have here the rules, I will show you in a second. Or let me show you now. Like, the rule set I wrote later, and then I did German and English rules. So as you can see, I progress during those things, but the game setup is pretty much, it's the werewolf, you know, the same preparation, the same night phase, the same day phase. I don't know why this is, yeah. And then here you get your basic core rules, the seer, the witch, the wolves, the huntsman, the little girl, the mayor, and then comes to special roles in which, let's say you go to an Italian or Asian restaurant, you can spice it up. And here you can see the Holy Julie, which is a healer, 9+ players, lovers, 10+ players, Bam Bamson, 10+ players, Vampiressa, which is the vampire lady, 10+ players, Amazon, plus 12 players, Umbra, plus 13 players, twin evil players. You know what I mean? It depends on with how many people you're playing with, and then you spice it up. And so the first version, I don't want to bore you, but as you can see, it's just white. And when people were laying this on the ground, or somebody gave me a feedback and he told me, man, you cannot distinguish front from the back side. And the first Kickstarter was a success. I kickstarted for a couple of $100. Like, let this sink in. For a couple of $100, I think $300, I got 20 of these, I think. And then I made version number 2, and I shipped all of these to all the Patreons, and then came version 2, and already you can see I'm improving the game. I listened to what's his name? Man, I can't remember, but a good friend. And now you can see we have German rules, we have English rules. I hand folded these and put a card in it. So you have already 2 rule sets, and you can distinguish front and back. And now the second version I'm creating, and I'm producing now 100 pieces of this for, I don't know, 600 euros or something like this. So it costs me more money, but I get more boxes for the same money. And then version 3, which will be this one or this one in front of me, will be for 3,000 euros, 1,000 pieces. Yeah. And so let me show you the cards a bit. So this is a thief. Nobody was using the thief, so I changed it up to an assassin, an Umbra. This is the mayor's Sherp and Holy Julie. But yeah, don't let me bore you with the black and white, because I showed my mentor, Ralph Niese. Go check out Ralph Niese's videos on my channel. He makes the best art. I would kiss like... go check out Ralph Niese's art, please, if you're still watching. So let me show you. Ralph Niese said, okay, these are fine. They're selling, because he saw I was selling these. But let's get to version 3 and to the newest version of the game and the latest version. And I think I won't improve on that. Like, it comes in a metal box, so it doesn't matter if somebody spills something on it. The metal box pretty much seals the deal. You can also sleeve it up, and I will also write something beautiful on the background and sign it. Pretty much this is how I will do it, and it comes with rules, and then this is what this game is about. Everything that has nothing on it, like if there's nothing written on it, this is a villager. Like, there's either villagers or werewolf. So this is the guy in the fog. And Rolf Niese added the gray tones, which are beautiful. So the guy, this is Franzi, a woman or a girl I met, and she then moved to Berlin, and I put her on the page because I wanted the women of the village to be beautiful and mysterious. So if you got this girl or if you got this guy, like there's no chance you're not playing fully here. Like you're defending your village tooth and nail. Then there's the Holy Julie. She's one of the 9 special characters. She's a healer. She can put a protective bubble around the player each night, but she has to switch it every night. So you can put a bubble on her, then on somebody else, then on her again. The thief, in my experience, was a bit underused, so I changed it up to somebody who can take a peek at night. If you want to have these roles explained, sign up to the Werewolf channel, where I will create for each card an explanation and we'll go over the rules. So this is just to show you. Then there's the Bruce Campbell man, Ogden, the owner of the tavern. Then there's the witch, beautiful lady, inspired by Adria the witch. Then there's this werewolf, and as you can see, like it's all adding up. Then this is Valbona. I met her on the train when I was working for the animation studios. She and her sister Adile. Yeah, I spiced it up. This is Robert. And also in the Kickstarter perks, most gentlemen bought a Kickstarter perk. So Robert helped me Kickstarter, and he got on the page, here are the lovers. This is just a statue of Amor in the city plaza, but this is the role. Then a beautiful werewolf. Beautiful. This I call the teen wolf. I don't know why, but yeah. Then we got a she-wolf, because come on, like what happens if a girl gets bitten, and as you can see she's transforming in the night somewhere. And yeah, then here's the Bam Bamson, can't be lynched by day. And the little girl I changed up to Little Sue, because I'm a huge fan with the Curly Sue movie. And as you can see, she's peaky, she's seeing something. And as you can see, like pretty wonky the whole thing. The church falls almost apart. We don't know where we are. Like this is a very cool scenery. It puts you there, and she's peeking, but you know she's in danger. Lupus Omega, if this guy is the last werewolf, he can kill 2 per night. This is Dennis on this card, also a good friend who kickstarted it. This is the evil twin. We will see what the twin can, but this guy I took from the X-Files. He lives in the twins' kind of stomach or belly, and at night they act like the lovers, just with a dark twist. Then here's the boy, beautiful drawing. This is a French guy who helped kickstart the first edition, and he can curse people, and by day they cannot vote. Beautiful church and all of this. The Amazon, this is Orchidea, a girl I know. I put her on here, so we have a bit of color. And the Amazon is, yeah, check out the special. The mayor, the drunk wolf, he doesn't remember that he's a wolf. He's like on the bench. He enters the team after a couple of nights, but he's so drunk he can't remember that he's a wolf. He's just enjoying himself too much. And as you can see, this is a Kickstarter perk, NBAC, Normie. I put in on this card, and here Damaris got the girl with this pretty ugly scar, but yeah, kind of real. Then here Sebe got the card, the nun. This is Klaus, a friend of a friend, also a Kickstarter, the Seer, Katie, a female cartoonist who draws also comics, and she got on the card with her dog in the background, the dog sniffing out. She finds some blood, like very beautiful storytelling. Here, this is Adile, a friend I know, and this is Basti, and here is the twin, an evil twin. They're like the lovers. If one dies, the other dies, but they can also kill or eat somebody at night. But if the evil twin decides, if they don't decide to eat anybody, and somebody points at the evil twin, nothing happens because the evil twin is not there. But if someone points at the twin, both die. So it's a bit risky, but yeah, kind of flavor of the month. Here's a villager, but kind of the blacksmith, Ali, Charlotte got to be the vampiressa, the huntsman, again from that one French movie. This guy is called Peter, so he got to be the big Piotr, the tough guy, doesn't die very easily. And here we are at the beginning. I think I will wrap this up. I said everything I wanted to say. There's just one thing left, and as you can see, these are the proofs. I was going back and forth with where I was printing these, and I will zoom out in a second. Check this out. Like, these are 33 cards on the proof, and yeah, this is how I proofed all of this card and gave the go, and a bunch more stuff. And as you can see, more proofs, and like this was really businessy and checking the colors. And here there's no Dario Di Donato yet on the cards. This is just the card back. Let me show you. Like, the idea was that on each card there is like I stole this from Mike Mignola somehow, Dario Di Donato's NOIR WEREWOLF, and then DarioDiDonato.com. And on these cards there's nothing yet, and sometimes the red wasn't the right red, and printing stuff, yeah, it got complicated at times, and I gave my best. And also I wrote on this then, make a comic out of this, and I wrote down practice consistency, a clear goal, divine masculinity, action, direction, movement, responsibility, strength, focus, fatherhood, son, generosity, encouragement, material abundance, clarity, intellect, authority, transformation, growth. And I did. And here it was something like sustainable, build or bag, good or crappy offer, strong why, intentions, what am I passionate about, what do I love to do, and what makes me happy, and also can I make a product out of this. So you see, there's a big history in this, and yeah, I will wrap this video up, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have more questions, ask me anything. Sure, it wasn't comic related, but this is also me. It is a big part of what I am. And if you want to buy a bunch of these games, hit me up via email down in the link. Check my Etsy, my eBay, my homepage, and shop something if you want, or write me and we will make something. See ya.